So I'm going to tell you all about what I'm going to do with this satiny fabric that I have. It's an old fitted sheet that I found at the Goodwill outlets, and it's already been washed and everything. While I do that, I'm just going to sew this button back on these bikini bottoms. Ooh, I don't know if I can talk and do something at the same time. Oh, too much brain power. I will show you my little sketches and my little sketchbook. I made a whole Pinterest board, and these are my sketches of how I want to interpret those Pinterest inspirations into my own thing. So, my original idea was to make a dress and have some lace on it and make this very formal thing. But as I went through my closet, I realized I have plenty of formal wear. I don't need any more. And something that I found inspiration for when I was looking on Pinterest of things to do with this kind of fabric was pajamas. So I was like, oh my God, that's it. I'm definitely doing pajamas with these. I think the most comfortable thing to start with is bloomers. I was thinking pajama shorts, but really, I feel like when you're in bed and your thighs always get so hot. And so having something that was actually like the full length of your thigh would be really comfortable. Step one is make bloomers. And then I want to make a cute top to go with it. And I don't know if I'm going to have a ton more extra fabrics. And then the important things would be for the bloomers, I definitely need the cooling fabric, thigh coverage, no bulky ties or buttons, because I thought it would be really cute to do like a classic button down with a little short collar and everything. But I'm like, I don't want to sleep on buttons. Like, that just doesn't sound comfortable. And I'm a stomach sleeper, so I don't want to sleep on anything bulky. And then definitely free movement. So I just did a trial run of a pair of shorts yesterday, and I think they're cute and like they're better quality than I normally sew. I like took the time to iron things, and I like really did all the things that I usually skip over. But then I put them on. They're not comfortable to get on and off. So I don't think they're going to be a pair that I'm going to reach for because I just didn't give enough extra width to scrunch them in. So that's the huge thing with the bloomers. I want to make them super oversized and then do elastic so they're really voluminous and really give a lot of room. And then the last thing is pockets. That was another thing that I thought I was going to do yesterday. I just completely forgot about the pockets. That's when I did all of this because I'm like, I want to write down all of the things that are in my head, because if I don't write them down, it's like I never had the thought. Last night I did some research about sewing with a satin fabric, and there should be a way to cut the fabric or cut the like pattern pieces. So when you do the seams, there's one way where you get a nice seam, and then there's one way where you see like all this puckering in the seam. So if I can figure out which way this goes, that's the way I'll orient my pattern pieces, and then we'll be good. There's going to be a lot of forgiveness once you add elastic in, and it doesn't have to be a perfect pattern piece. So I'm just self drafting it. I also want to make sure I have a dropped crotch because I don't want a wedgie. That was another thing with the shorts yesterday. I made myself sleep in them last night, and it was kind of just wedgie towns. Not the best. They're going to be kind of obnoxious. Like, I'll just have to cut the pattern like up to my boobs, and then kind of work my way down. Once I get the shape put together, then I'll just like drop the waist from there. Okay, I feel like I'm just procrastinating at this point, so let's just get started. Oh yeah, I am procrastinating because I'm gonna do this button real quick. kind of like I'm eating my vegetables before I can have dessert, you know? It's like if I can get this done, then I get to do the task I really want to do. So I have to play mental games with myself to like stay motivated. Don't judge. Front. All right, so I cut off the elastic from the fitted sheet. I also cut into the corners, and I wanted to show, so see how one side is all puckered and one side isn't? So this is where I would want my seam. As long as I cut my pieces this way and have my seam along here, then it should look nice. That is why I wanted to just have seams on the inside of the leg and just do a full pattern that hopefully, if there is puckering, it would be on the inside. Yeah, I just didn't want the seam on the outside of the leg. So I'm gonna practice a French seam. I'm gonna take some scrap fabric, and apparently the bad sides should be together. Okay, so bad sides together, shiny sides on the outside, and then you're gonna make a seam. So basically you're gonna make a visible seam, and then fold it in, make another seam from the outside. So this way, from the inside of your fabric, you're gonna have a nice edge, then it just looks like a normal seam from the outside. That was more for me in my brain than for you guys, but okay, let's give it a go. Hot tip, once you do the first seam, you trim the seam just so that when you fold it over and do this seam, that you don't see any extra sticking out. The fabric only goes to like halfway down. So now I know that this seam is not going to catch any of the first fabric. I don't think this makes any sense. So before I go even further, this is what I was supposed to do, is sew the front crotch together and the back crotch together, and leaving, like, these are supposed to be the legs. Well, on this side, I sewed the crotch, and I also sewed the legs together, which made it a skirt. So I need to unpick that. But as I put this on, I was like, there's just not enough give. So before I go any further, I think I'm going to recut these, which is fine. Like, I can use this as scrap for making the top or other stuff. Like, this amount of fabric is not going to go to waste, or I could still make a pair of shorts out of these, but I really want to like be happy with this in the end. So I'm going to do it right. And I have plenty of fabric. And if all I end up with is a pair of shorts by the end of this, like, that's fine. But I want them to be the comfiest shorts ever. So sewing wise, I used the lowest setting. I just took my time. I didn't rush at all. And I think it turned out absolutely fine. My string kept breaking, which this is like the most perfect color match for the string. So I was happy with that. But I don't know, twice it, like, the string just like broke in the machine. But I was going so slow that I caught it right away. So this, like, I feel like even when I turn this in, like, this is already going to be too tight. So I don't think, like, that's like exact fit, and that's not the vibe. So here's the crotch. So I needed to leave this open, so then this can attach here and that can attach there. But I would have to unpick this in order to close that up. got my pants. I've only done the crotches, so the legs are out. And there is plenty of room. I tried it on and it's really easy to get on and off. So the next step is to trim. So this one I've already trimmed. This one I haven't. But basically, now that I've trimmed this one, when I do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, there's plenty of room that this is not going to get caught in here. But like this one, if I didn't trim it and I started doing the seam, you'd start to get like you get a little ripple of fabric in there. So I'm going to cut this and then I'm going to iron the seams flat. From our research, it looks like you're not supposed to use any steam because it'll stain the fabric with water stains. So you're just supposed to use heat only. If I just press it to one side. Okay, so I finished up my French seams. So this is how the interior looks. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. I'm happy with it. As a first try, I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's time to take a break and get some food in me and take a bathroom break. Once I fill my needs bars, I might come back at it for like a little bit, but then I have trivia tonight. Probably won't finish these tonight, but I'm sure I'll have time tomorrow to get them finished. All right, it is the next day. I got some trivia in last night and I'm ready to make some more progress on these bloomers. If you're wondering what the heck is with the outfit, so I got sunburnt 2 days ago. So yesterday I literally wore a swimsuit so I wouldn't have anything on my shoulders. Okay, let's do the burn reveal. Yeah, it is not good. I was weeding out in the yard and it was overcast and I didn't realize how bad I was getting burnt at all. I feel shame about it. I'm always very careful with my skin. This is how we're living right now. So I am just gonna work until like 3 o'clock today and then shower and then head to my electrolysis appointment and psychic development. Woo! We've got crotches. And I guess the next step would be to close in the legs. So let's see if I can do that without messing it up. Okay, that's bad energy. Let's see if I can get this right on the first try. So I think I landed at a good height. I cut off the excess on the template itself, and then I marked, so like a seam allowance, and then the elastic fold, the ruffle, and then the elastic. So basically, once you fold it over, that's actually the top of the garment. And so there's going to be a seam here, and then the elastic's going to be here, and then there's going to be seam allowance here. Yeah, this is the hardest part of sewing, is you have to think 10 steps ahead, and that's really hard to do. So that's why people follow patterns and instructions, because they tell you step by step. But when you're drafting on your own, like, you kind of don't know until you make the mistake that you could have done something better or in a different order of operations, and then it would have been better. Let me scratch my head about this. But I think I'm going to start with this top seam to have a finished edge. And then I think we're just going to fold it over and create a seam. We'll see. All right, let's figure out what the heck happened here. I see. Somehow my fabric is still too long. I never cut my fabric. Okay, so I literally did everything on the paper, but I never trimmed my actual fabric. So that is why. But honestly, I think I'll keep my fabric. I would just have like a much bigger ruffle. Hang on. See, I did the math right. So from the top, I folded down 2.5 inches. And that was, let's see what that was. This is what I did. But I never cut the 4 inches off from the top. But now I'm thinking, this is where I want my elastic to be. Like, I do feel like I need more space, like, for the channel. And the ruffle. Do I leave it or do I cut it? To give some room. Okay, I think we got it. So I think I'll cut off 2.5 inches and just make sure that I have 3 inches plus like where I'm gonna fold the seam under. So I want that much. Hang on. I don't know. Maybe I arbitrarily. I gotta think some more. I folded over this edge and I kind of did it all in one stitch. I did the fold and the seam in one, and I left my channel opening for the elastic. And now I'm going to do my ruffle channel. So the elastic only needs to fit within this, and then I'll put a seam here, and then I'm going to do the ruffle here. Here is how it's looking. I'm super excited. I got the elastic in. I sized it appropriately. I took the elastic in quite a bit, and it's so comfortable. It feels really nice on my skin. I freaking love them. I think the crotch ended up at a good height. So basically, like the widest part of your thigh, that's where I have it landing. And I think it's a good spot. And now it's just doing the cuffs, which I want to copy the same little ruffle detail, but I don't know if I necessarily need to do elastic. I think that's probably the best solution. But I think I'm going to think about it, and I just don't know if this is too thick and I want thinner stuff. So I'm going to mull it over. I'm going to go eat some leftover fajitas, and I think I'm just going to like go do my shower and everything and get ready for tonight. I'm going to call this a win because this was very frustrating, and I feel like if I try to rush the hems on the legs, I'm probably going to end up doing something I regret. This morning, I just kind of was listening to another YouTuber, so I was like, I'm not going to record, I'm going to finish this video. I was actually re-watching a video by Carly. Check her out because I feel like she's the one who truly inspired me to like take the time and do things right and create something that like I'm actually proud of. And so, this morning I did my hem. I did it the exact same way I did the top and pretty much same measurements and everything. I used the elastic from the fitted sheet. These are little like hold downs for the fitted sheet. There were 4 of them, so I just stitched 2 of them together and the other 2, and it was the perfect size. So I just tested this one. I just have it in with a safety pin, and I think it's perfect. I'm just gonna like stitch it together at the exact size it already is, pop this one in, and then they'll be done. And I think they look freaking cute and they're comfy. I'm so happy with these. I'm so proud of myself. it feels good. I think before, when I would do sewing projects, like I would only allow myself like a couple hours, but giving myself the time to just step away, come back at this refreshed, and like take 3 days to make this, I think that helped a lot with my mindset about this project.